Hi everyone, welcome to my basketball stats channel, and I want to talk to you today about um, some of the basic stats there are in basketball, and hopefully I can combine this to be in a series that also explains some of the stats in the box score, as well as some of the advanced player metrics. Now, the first one is the stat summary, the thing that you see before you click the box score on the NBA. Usually for a player, it'll just show their points, um, their assists, and their rebounds. So it's really simple. There's only three stats, and I'd like to talk about each of them in some detail. And I believe there's some interesting things about these stats that possibly you might not know, and it may be interesting to you and help you get a deeper understanding for the game. So the first thing is points. So points is probably the simplest of all the stats because it's probably like directly um, directly recorded from the play. Like someone makes a basket and you just add up points to their tally. It's like the simplest thing possible. So there's not too much to say, but there are situations where a player can accumulate points in an unusual way that will affect the stats. For example, if the opposing team gets a technical foul, then only the nominated free throw shooter is eligible to get those points, and those points are not necessarily part of the game in the same way the other points are. Another situation may be, um, for example, in the unlikely event that your opponent scores in their own basket, or the ball just goes into the basket by accident, then the captain of the team, your team, will be awarded those points um, as if he'd scored them. So there are situations where the points kind of come randomly and not from basketball plays. So, but otherwise, it's a very straightforward stat, and definitely there's some indication of success of that individual from how many points he scores. And I think the next simplest stat is the rebounds. There's not too much to say about the rebounds, other than that um, there is. It's not always clear, like completely clear, as it is who gets the points, as um, who gets the rebound. So, for example, um, if someone deflects it incidentally or maybe on purpose to another player, sometimes the player should be awarded the rebound, and sometimes the person who deflects it should be awarded the rebound. And whether who's awarded the rebound really depends on just the definition of rebound, though um, it may depend case by case depending on which one you value more as the rebound. And then there's also the case where no one gets the rebound and it's considered a team rebound. So it's not so simple just to add up all the players' rebounds in the game to determine how many rebounds were available. Okay, so I hope that can get you thinking about the points and rebounds, and get you on sort of like at least a similar um, mindset to now tackle the problem of assists. Now, assists are a very interesting stat because I think it's a very extreme example of the trend that we were showing earlier, that points, while very clear cut what a point should be and who should get them. And rebounds not so clear, but basically clear. An assist, I think, it's almost very unclear what an assist should be. And an assists traditionally have undergone um, some changes in how they're defined and how they're recorded. Like originally, an assist would not be given if the player who sorry, should I tell you what an assist is? I guess assist is really trying to measure like um or like an indirect scoring play. So you get an assist when you pass it to the person that scores, as opposed to scoring it yourself. And so there's a lot of difficulties in defining an assist. Originally, I think an assist was only given if the player who you passed to didn't dribble it or had to do almost anything. He just directly put it in the goal or shot the ball, and that's how you get an assist. But I think nowadays the definition of an assist has been loosened. You'd probably get awarded with the assist if the person had a clear path, whether he dribbled it or not, and some other things. Um, so this already sets the scene for assists being already a rather difficult stat to work with, and it's funny that like something so vague became one of the foremost um, stats of the game. And actually, it's so interesting. I think I may make a separate recording just to explain further the nature of assists. And there's an interesting thing where how I was saying the more rebounds you get or the more points you get are generally an indication of a greater individual success. Um, I think in some cases, especially in today's 3-point shooting game, um, having higher assists may not necessarily mean um, having greater individual success in terms of your contribution to your a winning team. So I'll explain that a little bit more in the next recording. Thank you for listening. Hopefully, this is something that'll get you thinking and you're interested in, and we can continue next time. And if you have any questions, please leave them, and I'll try to answer them as best I can. Thank you for your attention.